to Ask a Puppy Trainer Show. This is where we answer all of your questions about puppyhood. I'm Bethany.
And I'm Sparky from the Puppy Academy. We're excited you're here. And now, let's get to the show.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Ask a Puppy Trainer Show. I'm Bethany. This is Sparky. This little new fluff ball is Nala. She's so precious. This is
episode 179. And guys, anyone whose questions that we answer, you can always send them to us through Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, pretty much any of our social medias. We take questions from there. And if we do answer your question and you're on the live, throw a chat. Throw something in the chat if you have a follow-up. We love interacting with you guys as much as we can, and that just feels very personal to us.
And we do prioritize comments. So if you're here, put your question below, include age and breed of your puppy, because it definitely changes our advice. And let's get started.
All right, so first from Hallie Biz. Our 3-month mini Doxie won't stop nipping my husband. Does he think he's playing? He gets a little bit aggro. My big question usually is, how does your husband interact with the puppy? Is there a lot of play with his hands? Is there a lot of play with the toy? Is he balancing that out with training? So if he plays for 10 minutes, is he getting multiple training sessions in throughout the day between that play session? That's really what my mind goes to, because puppies do develop habits and they will habitually nip someone or jump on them more if that's what they represent to them.
It's become their relationship. And so honestly, it's not a kid, it's your husband. So your husband is going to have to be the one to change that relationship. And so that might mean not playing with the puppy for a week, or the play is only 15% of the interaction. And I get it. If he's going to work all day and he comes home and that's, what he wants to do, I get it. But just like anything else, having a kid, new job, working out, trying to eat healthier, whatever it is, you've sometimes got to do the stuff that's not fun in order to get to what you want, right? It takes time. And so he's going to have to come home and work with the dog for 15 minutes, play for 5, and so to me, that's going to be the big change. And a 3-month-old dog, probably, a mini dachshund especially, I was just envisioning in my head.
Cute little thing.
But
those little teeth are razor blades.
They really need to be hand-fed, while working with them at this stage. And so it'll take a few weeks, but it'll change how the dog views his hands if he's not doing it in that way anymore. His hands are sit, place, come, here's food, and that'll change things as well. So it's not just about the structure and leadership and blah, blah, blah. It's also just, what are your hands communicating? What do your hands represent? Do they represent calm pets and food delivery for a job well done? Or is it excited, play? Then it's going to be nipping and biting, and there's nothing you can do about it. We could tell you how to correct it, but it wouldn't be fair to such a young puppy.
Especially for a baby.
Yeah, especially such a small breed dog too, like this one. So first is all about relationship. So.
You're creating good habits, good lifelong habits.
Can we do this one down here?
Yeah, you want that one? This is from Kath King.
Golden, 20 weeks. Please help my dog pulling on a slip lead. What is the best thing to walk when passing by? So 20 weeks. A golden is pretty big. They get big so fast, but I would encourage you to maybe not go for a walk and spend 2 weeks doing 15 minutes on slip leash in the house. Turn, stop, sit, food. Walk 3 to 5 steps, turn, stop, sit, food. Walk 3 to 5 steps, stop, sit, food. Move backwards like a come, sit, food. Sit down, stay, walk around the dog, food. That's 15 minutes inside. Then try it in the backyard, or if you're in an apartment, if there's a side yard or something. Then in front of your home for 10, 15 minutes. And then the last walk, the walk that you would do, quote unquote walk, is work that you would do. Try in front of your house and in the 2 neighbor houses. Stop going for a walk. And then as soon as you see someone, turn, stop, sit, food, walk 3 to 5 steps, stop, sit, food. That way you're making the walk about you, not about the environment, what's around you. But you can't go for a walk with a 20-week puppy. There is not one with 30 puppies here, there is not one 20-week-old puppy that can go for a walk. They're worked with for 10 to 15, maybe 20 minutes if they're a higher energy breed. At 20 weeks old, they're worked with. And that's probably what you're missing. But you can't just do it outside. You need to practice in the house on slip leash, as well as in the backyard, side yard, front yard, then on your sidewalk. There's something else I want to add to that, but I got to form my thought. Do you have anything else for that?
That was so complete. So complete in every way.
I just wanted to say, I know about the slip leash. So slip leash is a wonderful tool. We mention it a lot on here, but don't get it mixed up. Like, slip leash is one of the hardest tools to learn.
Yep.
It's because you've got head control, which is really important, especially for like a golden. Oh, big yawn.
But it only really works for minimal distractions. It's not really going to help you with them pulling towards a big dog.
Right.
Because they'll choke themselves to still get to the dog.
You use your body to turn and walk away.
Yep.
But my point is just that slip leash is a great tool, but it takes some skill. Otherwise, they just get desensitized so fast. And they can get desensitized to any tool. We've seen dogs pull through gentle leaders, that go over the nose. Like, we've seen dogs pull through everything. Anything can get desensitized. It is just a tool to help you. But I will say, specifically with slip leash, you need handling skills. And so I would go watch 3 to 5 YouTube videos on balance training on slip leash, and then try to emulate, those same things on your walk, and really practice your specific handling skills.
And I know Bethany already mentioned basically working them under threshold, which is working them inside versus outside. When you feel that you can turn your dog on a dime after they heard a dog bark outside and they perked up and looked outside, if you can redirect that dog's focus to you very quickly without having to really give a lot of pressure on the leash, that's when you're building up good handling skills. It's about being able to maneuver yours and your dog's space without tripping over each other and without adding too much tension.
That's right. Okay, Valroy, you said you're not sure if this is appropriate here. It's a pit bull, 2 years old, with some aggression issues. So here's the thing, Valroy. The last thing I want to do is push you off and be like, no, we can't help you. Here's the thing. It's Puppy Academy. A 2-year-old is not a puppy. So the advice that we would give you would be so different, if it was a 16-week-old pitty having some growling issues. You have a pit bull. They are powerful breeds. If you do not know how to stop this, how to redirect it, how to stop a dog fight, how to do some of these things, you need to deep dive into some research, and you need to get some one-on-one help right away with an issue like this. And if for some reason you can't get someone to you to help you one-on-one, you should, I'll be honest, you should consider finding someone who can, for this dog, because these issues don't live in a vacuum. This is a 2-year-old powerful breed, and they get worse, not better. There is no growing out of what you're dealing with. And so
there's developing proper coping skills from the right trainer.
And unfortunately, this dog is developing his own coping skills, and it's really bad. And it's going to snowball and get worse, not magically better. And so
you don't have a month. You need to get someone ASAP, or you need to possibly consider rehoming so the dog goes to someone who is more equipped and has worked on this with previous dogs.
Yeah. So I don't mean to push you off, but anybody, out there, we don't answer questions for older
And
older
what's
dogs.
sad too is
Puppies
no
only.
one else would give you that same answer probably. We're trying to help you as much as we possibly can by giving you that answer, because that is a very intense future.
Yeah, exactly.
Not everyone is equipped to work with aggressive dogs or even reactive dogs.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, this is from Jandy. How to teach dog to drop something they shouldn't have. He knows leave it. Dog is 13 weeks, red lab. How to teach drop when they have something they shouldn't.
Oh, it's a baby.
It's a baby.
So I love your question, but if you're expecting to get that tomorrow, your expectations are too high, my friend.
And leave it is a little bit different. So
that's true.
Think of leave it as more context. For leave it, it's if there's something on the ground he's never allowed to have, to me, that's just a no. But if there's something on the ground like, maybe I got a baby toy on the ground, but it looks like one of his toys, that would be a leave it, because I'm probably going to go grab his toy and redirect him to it instead. Yeah. So leave it has more context. If it's something he should never have, then it's just a firm no. If it's a leave it, it's something with context.
Yeah.
For your 13-week-old Red Lab, how to teach drop it when they have something they shouldn't. Do you have a leash on your dog? That's one of the first things we always ask, is if you don't have a leash, you're playing the chase game, which is way more fun than playing the come game. They come to us, chase, we're going after them. So I want to be able to, one, if my dog picks up something I don't want them to have, I don't want to, because now that has so much value and they're going to run away with it. I'm going to see it and I'm going to be like, okay. I'm going to kind of casually try to walk over there and I'm just going to try to put a foot on the leash just to get them to stop so they can't run away. I'm going to then maneuver to my leash and kind of eat up some slack. I'm not pulling them to me. That creates a lot of opposition reflex and frustration. As I'm pulling in my leash, I'm actually walking towards my dog just so they can't move away. And then, depending what they have, if it's something that's easy to get them to drop, like it's a toy, something like that, or it's just whatever it is, I can actually put my hand on it, create a little bit of pressure, and wait them out. This is if it's a toy, guys.
A toy.
It can't be a tissue. It can't be something like that. If it is something else, if it's something that's not going to hurt them like a leaf, honestly, let them eat it. Let them finish it. It's not poisonous. You're going to create so much more conflict by taking it away from them. Just wait them out. And once they've finished it, then you're playing the prevention game. That means if I see an area with a bunch of leaves, I'm going around it. I'm moving away from it. I'm practicing my come routine off of different distractions to build a training routine around it, create a more positive association to coming to us versus always going for the item. If it's a tissue, if it's something that they cannot have and that can hurt them, you can pick up the leash and create a pressure up and kind of move into them and wait them out to see if they can drop it, of which I put my foot on it and kind of slide it away from them. That's how I've always taught it. Do you have a different technique?
Well, for a 13-week-old, I would only do that if it was an emergency. Like if
it's poisonous,
if they got a hold of something poisonous.
Tissue is not poisonous.
For me, specifically the tissue one, because that is a common one we come across. For me, I would take the leash, do a little bit of pressure up in the air, like you said, but instead of waiting for the dog to drop it, which can require quite a bit of pressure, and waiting them out, excuse me, I would do the pressure, squat down, because it's still a pretty small dog, and I would do something safely. You take their bottom lip and I would roll it over their teeth gently. She didn't whine. I didn't hurt her. Excuse me. Sorry. And I would pull it out. Then I would relax the leash, act like it was no big deal, redirect the dog, okay?
Low pressure, low stimulation. We're not coming at our puppy quick and hard. It's very slow. Whatever energy you put in gets multiplied by 1,000 by dog. So if I come in hot, my dog's already nervous and skittering away, and by the time I try to grab the leash, lift, and go under the jaw, she's already scared and probably chirping at me and very nervous. So you come in quiet, you come in slow. You've already got the foot on the leash, which means they can't go anywhere. Take your time.
And where's your treat pouch?
Yeah. Oh, the treat switch over. If it's a tissue, it'd be hard. Good.
Let me step out for just a second.
Bethany left her voice on the airplane she got back on last night.
Yep.
That was her reference, not mine.
This is a good TikTok when you want it.
I love it. Thank you. Okay.
You also have it on your phone.
Do I? Thank you. They do so many things to make my life easy, guys. I just don't even think about it. All right, this is from Allie. Oh, perfect. 8-week-old pup, great with the crate, can't get her to calm down out of crate, even with lots of play. Love that. Thank you for saying that last part. So play doesn't actually calm down dogs. It actually will amp them up and it builds stamina and endurance. So anytime we want a puppy to be calm and relaxed, it's really training, guys. And I'm not talking place duration for 25 minutes. No, I'm talking, this is a baby, right? 8 weeks? Yeah, 8 weeks old. I am literally taking food. I'm kneeling on the ground. I'm sitting there and I'm literally just putting a treat to my dog's nose and moving it. And when they follow it 4 or 5 steps, saying good and giving them the treat, grabbing another one, luring them. And then maybe stepping back a step and saying, come with the close lure. 8-week-old puppy does amazing in the crate, cannot relax outside of the crate. It's an 8-week-old puppy. It's pretty normal. But you can do mental training. Only give about probably 20 to 30 minutes of free time out of the crate, and even that might be a little bit too much. Most of those puppies need to be doing a lot of sleep throughout the day, and make sure the time out of the crate is quality. Do you want her back?
Sure.
Just make sure that she's got a full little tummy. She might have to go potty soon. It felt full. Lost my train of thought. Just make sure that whenever your puppy comes out of the crate, you have tasks for them. It's not freedom to come out of the crate for an hour.
It's not a free-for-all.
Walk and play for 10 minutes or 5 minutes. It's training for maybe 10 minutes for an 8-week-old puppy. You might get like 8 to 10.
By walk and play, he means practice walking inside.
Your relationship building exercise, which you get in the online school if you join. You got a perfect puppy age for it. But you're basically doing a few comes. You're doing some sits. You're doing easy stuff with low focus on duration. It's all movement. You're getting your puppy to move to use energy, but in a more efficient way, which also uses mental energy and is considered training.
Yes, sorry. That was a good finished thought. And what boundaries are you setting? Like I'm getting nibbling and biting and licking right now. This is a baby. So no. Super easy with this dog. It's not always that easy. No. Good. Back to petting. The moment I get biting or obsessive licking at my sleeve, I'm going to repeat. And then if it's too much for her, she's telling me, I am bored. I want to play. I want to be worked with. I want to learn new things. So I need to either put her back in crate if I can't do that, or I'm going to work with her. And so that's what she's telling me. What boundaries are you setting for your dog at thresholds and crate and nipping, biting?
Before you push that, can you go over the obsessive licking again? Because everyone gets the nips and we address that, or we know we should. Licking is not necessarily good, especially the obsessive licking. Yeah. Break that down for Bethany, unless you want me to.
So you got to know your puppy. A few licks, I love a few licks. I love it. But if it's like over and over and over and over again, it's like eating chocolate cake. It's too much of a good thing. You can say no. Don't allow it to go on, because the more that they do that, the more likely they are to nip you. And then at 6, 7, 8 months old, jump up and nip at your elbow or chew the leash or refuse to go anywhere. It is a slippery slope. So it's not that licking is bad. It's just that, just like anything else, too much of it, you need to be able to say, enough right now. You can lick me later. It's not such a big no that we're like, don't ever do that again. No. We're just saying enough is enough right now. And you can absolutely do that with licking. You should do that with licking.
Licking is considered a stress relieving technique for a dog. They do it to relieve stress, but we don't want it to be on us. We don't need them to relieve stress on us. That's where I give them a toy. And they get to kind of lick their toy a little bit, or a bone, they get to lick the bone, or a Kong with peanut butter frozen inside of it, and they get to lick the peanut butter out for 20 to 30 minutes. Yep. It can calm them, but you don't want to be the source of what's calming them in that fashion. Agreed. Otherwise, you become a tool. Yep. You're not building relationship, you're a tool.
There's a good 9-week French Bulldog crate question on TikTok too.
Oh.
I just want to, while you're looking at that, real quick, Madison, 1-year-old Yorkie, or is it too old to answer a question? We'll answer a 1-year-old question, Madison. Go. I mean, you're definitely an adolescent dog. It's not like a puppy, but you are still in the puppy category. So go right ahead and type out your question.
I'm trying to look for that 9-week-old one.
Faith Ann.
Oh, okay, it was farther in. All right, from Faith Ann, tips for crate training a 9-week-old French Bulldog, and how often should I be putting him in the crate? So we have a wonderful link that's going to take you to our masterclass crate training video that actually shows you how to build a schedule for your dog. You're shaking your head no.
We don't cover crate training, but you can still get the potty schedule.
That's all we need. We just need to get you guys a potty schedule to start. So knowing now potty schedule, you can come back and rewatch this video. What you're trying to figure out with your puppy is, did it give age 9-week-old? Honestly, 9-week-old Frenchie, I'd probably start with maybe an hour in the crate and about 30 minutes out of the crate. Frenchies tend to be pretty good at holding their bladder, a majority of them, but if you have a bad one, it's usually really bad for them. So I'd say start with about an hour, 30 minutes of free time, and follow the same thing I mentioned for the previous client, which was give that free time structure. If you're just letting them out for 30 minutes free roaming, you got pee, poop everywhere. You're going to have dog jumping, counter surfing, getting the things they shouldn't. They need to have a leash on their harness, especially for a Frenchie, because they do have the bulgy eyeballs. So you got to have a harness on them, not a leash on a flat collar or a slip leash. Don't do those for them. And then make sure that when you guys have them out, 10 minutes of walk and play, 10 minutes of training, 10 minutes of supervised separation. And that masterclass will break that down a little bit more for you guys.
A really quick one, SPRX. I'm getting a puppy in 2 weeks. Where should I put the crate? Bedroom, living room. It's a Cavapoo. I love crates in the living room and in the bedroom rather than a crate in the bedroom and a playpen in the living room. That's just my thing. He likes the playpen. So
What happened?
The main thing is the quiet time that your puppy should receive multiple times a day, every day, away from you. That'll probably be in the bedroom, unless you work from home in the bedroom. Then it needs to be in the closet, in the bathroom, in the spare bedroom.
Create some airflow for them wherever you put them.
True.
You can put a fan in the closet. We've told people before, do.
But it's fine for your puppy to be in the bedroom with you at night. That's fine. But just during the day, you need a quiet place that can be dark, that maybe you can play some white noise machine or something if you need to. That's away from you. So that's key. If you did a living room crate as well, or a living room playpen, that's different. That's supervised separation, where the puppy learns how to be around you while you're in the same room as them, but not have access to you. So that's a different reason. If all this sounds confusing and you're interested in more specifics, please check out our online school at thepuppyacademy.com.
Every question we've gone over the last 10 minutes is in the online school.
Yeah. Can I do one more?
Yeah, go for it. You got to go.
Okay. Madison, I don't know, I haven't read it. Madison said, Yorkie, this is the Yorkie. Yeah, I'm shocked that this is your issue with your Yorkie.
I gotta read it too.
Barking. It's just barking when someone comes to the door. Shocked.
That one's on mine too, actually.
It's a little terrier.
Did you double post?
Okay, so before I give you my idea for a 1-year-old, let me just preface this by saying, and this has nothing to do with you, Madison. I don't know you. Like, we could have a call and then I could tell you if this is you or not. But I cannot tell you how many families of Yorkshire Terriers I have worked with, and they are not exercising their terrier enough, and they are not challenging their terrier enough. Y'all know what terriers are bred to do? These little suckers were bred to go into little holes and kill mice. They're little killers. And people forget that. They just see these cute little flouncy, silky-haired terriers.
I have a session this weekend. I'm just going to walk in the house and be like, you're a killer. You're a killer.
Yay! Celebrate.
Whoa! Did we do it? What did we do?
I have no idea. Okay. Especially if there's kids. You should definitely do that if there's like a 5-year-old sitting right there.
I'll make sure to tell them. Yeah, okay.
But no, like, I'm just saying that I see this so much with this breed. Like, they treat them like little lap dogs. I'm like, I got news for you. A Yorkshire Terrier puppy is totally different than this little evolved lap dog right here.
I can tell you right now, if Yorkshire Terriers
she'd lick a mouse and be like, hi.
Chihuahuas combined,
how are you?
Those two breeds have bit me more often than any other breed in the entire world combined.
True. I
Cumulatively.
used to work for a Yorkshire Terrier rescue, and man, oh my god. Okay, so anyway, just have that in mind, because I want to make sure that we are fulfilling the needs of the breed mix, of the temperament of the dog.
And it doesn't take much. It really doesn't.
It doesn't.
It might just take a little bit more than the exercise she's getting now.
It's about finding exercise and actually looking for a way to tell your dog no. You need that. You need to be challenging your dog often enough to where they learn a valuable no and practice a no once in a while. It's so important, guys. Like, I just cannot even tell you. Okay, so with that being said, let's make sure that you've got that in check. What I would do for a 1-year-old dog that's already barking her little head off at the door is I would probably do clicker training, and I would probably do enough rather than a no. Because a no implies don't ever do this again, but this is already really deeply ingrained in your dog's DNA and in their habits. So for me, it would be like, bark, bark, bark. Hey, enough, come. Food, click food, click food, click food, click food, click food. And then they hear a noise, and I would be like, enough. And I do a big hand gesture. Dogs like hand gestures. enough, click food, click food, click food, click food. And sorry, that would actually be the second step. I would just sit in front of my dog with nothing going on and I would go, enough, like quiet, click food, click food, click food, click food, 3, 4, 5 times. Quiet, click food, click food. I would do that for 3 to 5 minutes. That would be like 30 repetitions. I would do that twice. What is with this? Woo! Sorry, we're getting like fireworks over here on Instagram. I would do that probably 3 sessions, 2 to 3 days. And then a little jingle of keys outside the door, whatever it is you're dealing with, whatever the triggers are, I would add those in. If somebody texting me that they're at the door, you get that chime on your phone if you're in an apartment, you got to work on those triggers. And they go bark, 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 enough. Try to catch them before the barking. That's ideal. Then you do that for 2 weeks. And they really understand that when you go enough and they hear the clicker, that they like come to you for food immediately. Like that's really ingrained in their brain. Now we can start to work on a no when they don't listen for like the big one, when someone actually comes over. You can do no in a lot of ways. I would put my dog on a leash when people come over. I would give a tug of enough. Doesn't work because I know someone's actually outside the door. It's not those other triggers. Tug the leash or a pet corrector squirt. You know, you could try that too. So that might, I mean, honestly, it's a startle response. It might startle her a little bit, but don't do the startling. Don't just go buy a pet corrector without doing all the foundational work that I mentioned. Because you got to have something to fall back on.
They need to know what to do when that no does come or the enough. And they're like, all right, I'm not barking. Right. But what's next?
Otherwise you're going to cause anxiety.
Place, come, sit down.
Yeah, otherwise you're going to cause anxiety. Mm-hmm. So get that foundation first that I mentioned. I just gave you one example of honestly many ways to do it. There really are a lot of ways to do it. But you need to be ready. So you need to have your treat pouch like in a drawer next to you, on your desk, wherever you spend a lot of time during the day, with your clicker inside. And then just go look at, if you go to YouTube and you type in clicker conditioning videos, it'll give you the timing and the necessary steps to properly clicker condition. Clicker is so much better for things like this rather than saying good or yes. It really is so much better, especially for a little yappy dog. So anyway, then you can add your valuable no when they don't listen. You go enough and they're still like, burr, 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 burr. Then you no, hold them accountable, then redirect them right back to their click food, click food, click food. But they have to not be barking in the end result.
To get food.
In the beginning, you actually can click when they do a little bark, but you got to get away from that quick or they will actually start to bark for the click food. So it's a whole process. All right. So it's not a quick answer for something like that, especially for a 1-year-old, but I hope that gets your brain thinking. Also, you can rewatch this. This is going to be replayed, re-shown on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, podcast. Yeah, we have podcasts too. It doesn't allow us to do the whole 30 minutes. And so you're going to have to hop on YouTube or podcast. You can hear this again and take notes. All right.
Special request, please.
That puppy is asleep.
Special request.
What is this?
With your friends and advice with a special issue.
Ooh.
Where did this come from?
Emailed it.
Oh. Was it like literally like it just brought in the door?
I forgot to print it with the original. And I told her we were cool.
Okay, all right.
Tanya, you've been promised. We're going to follow through on our promises.
We got you. I'm losing my mind. Okay. 5-month-old Swissy puppy. Swissy, does that mean a Swiss mountain dog?
That's what I thought.
That's a large breed dog, and they're having potty issues? That's unusual. Oh, cannot hold its bladder more than an hour. 5 months old. This is very unusual. We've tried stretches of time, crate trained, no UTI, no medical issues. He asks to go out and will pee every time. Wait, does it say crate trained? He is crate trained. Not behavioral. We don't play or give treats each time. He's on a leash in the same spot each time. The reason she says that we don't play, or give treats each time is because that can be a distraction to a dog that's already potty trained. This dog seems potty trained. It's just not able to hold it for very long. So this was a good choice by the owner to wean off of that, just FYI. I've read in breed groups that people take their dogs every 10 minutes while awake until 1.5 years.
They're crazy. Don't do that.
But she said breed groups, like crazy this is a breed issue. Groups. Every accident sets house training back 2 weeks. I mean, that's a hyperbole. Is that the right word? It's hyperbolic. No, but it does set you back a little bit. They're not wrong. Setting back 2 weeks is a little nutty, but they're not wrong. All right. We're on a strict crate schedule, outside routine. Doesn't have much freedom inside. He's on leash. When he's out of crate, he will go every 30 minutes. Yeah, but he hasn't had an accident because they're going out like crazy. Oh. Please tell me this improves soon. He's on food and water schedule. He does not have unlimited free access.
This is what I want to read.
We can plan when he needs to go out. We are marking down the times. You're doing everything right.
I'm very curious. Are you measuring your water? Because that's the one thing. You gave a lot of detail in this. Like I feel like I know you. I feel like we're friends now. But I don't see how much water you're giving. So let me just mention a measurement. And it's hot, but it's also cold in some areas. So if you live in a cold area, I want you to follow this to the T. If you live in a hot area, it's a little bit harder to like kind of find out what you have to give. So it's a half cup of water per every 30 pounds of body weight every 2 to 3 hours. Half cup of water for every 30 pounds of body weight every 2 to 3 hours. Just to give you an idea of where to start. So if this dog, did it have his size?
It's just, I mean, a
5-month-old Swissy, so Swiss Mountain Dog, I mean, that's got to be 80
big.
pounds, 60, 70 pounds.
It would be a big dog by now.
So if you're doing 60, 70 pounds, I'd be trying to give about maybe a cup to a cup and a quarter of water. And honestly, go lower to start. Because here's the thing, we're not withholding water, we're measuring the water. And when I give that...
I'm sorry, I was just going to say, if you're giving kibble, you need more water for the kibble. Rehydrate the kibble.
Just let me get down this path.
Sorry.
I'm going to address it, I promise. So I'm going to start with a cup of water, which doesn't seem like that much. He's probably drinking 4 times that amount right now because he's a Swissy and he's a big dog who gets hot easily. Yeah. Give that cup of water, and I want you to wait 15 minutes and re-look at your dog. And if he's sitting there, you feel the gums in their bone dry, you see his eyes and they're a little bit bloodshot, there's a lot of different signs. Yeah, that dog needs more water. Give him another half cup or a cup of water. And I want you to go back a couple times and I want you to actually find out and figure out how much water your dog actually needs. If my dog is panting and I feel his gum line and it's slimy and slick, he's good. He's just hot. He's a dog who pants a lot, but I'm not going to give more water. If I go back in an hour and that gum line is dry, okay, I do probably need to give a little bit more water.
Don't wait for bloodshot eyes.
Yeah.
Go the gum line.
You gotta play around a bit to find out exactly what he's gonna need. But I'm trying to be a little bit more strict with you because you seem like you're a strict person. You seem like you're willing to do it. So I'm gonna give you more strict instructions because I think you do it. So
I have a tweak for the schedule.
Throw in the tweak.
I have a tweak for the schedule. So this
for what
is
I just said or for what they're already doing?
For what they said. Okay. So this is going to kind of stink, but we got to see if it works. But you got to give it a good 2 weeks. 2 weeks of more crate time, less out time. Mm-hmm. Not because your dog is badly behaved. It has nothing to do with that. We're trying to build your dog's ability to hold it. So let's make sure we're doing, you didn't specify crate time, Tanya, so you might want to write back next week. And we can deep dive more into specific times for your breed and age and things like that. But if you're doing 2 hours, I would do 2.5 hour rotations for 2 to 3 days. No accidents. Go right to 3, 2, 3 days. No accidents. Go right to 3.5. Build up the section of time at least. I'd like 3 times a day. If that's too hard for you, at least 2. Where they're in the crate during the day for that amount of time and you're building up. I wouldn't go over 4 hours. 4 hours is like your golden.
I still think they should stick with 30 minutes of free time though, for the time being until they get the potties down more.
Yeah. So stick with 2 to 3 times, preferably 3 in crate, building that time period up. However, he's right. When your dog is out of crate, you got to do what your dog needs. So my point is, I guess, because I'm going a little over time here. My point is, you need to build your dog's ability to hold pee, but you can't do that out of crate. It has to be in crate. That's how you build the ability to hold pee. When your dog is out of crate, you're still every 30 minutes. You're still whatever your dog needs it to be. Mm-hmm. And then when you're working on the ability to hold pee, it's in crate. I would also like to know, Tanya, if your dog is lifting their leg yet. I would like to know that
as well. Yeah, that's a good point.
So if you could let us know when he goes out into the yard, is he lifting his leg? And is he peeing more than once when he goes outside sometimes? One
more question.
Madison had a nice comment.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna read. Matt, did you have something else with Tanya?
I did, but I forgot it. I think you may have taken it. I think you actually said it.
Okay.
That's why I forgot it.
Okay. So real quick, Madison says she had the little Yorkie that was. Thank you so much. I've been following your rules and tips since the day we brought him home. Yay, he's very well behaved and disciplined boy. Your tips and recommendations have worked perfectly. Thank you. Thank you so much, Madison. We really appreciate the feedback, and I love to hear cases like yours. We've been around for a while, and so I love to hear that kind of feedback from you guys. All right. Thank you so much, and we will see you same time, same place next week. We had a couple questions on here that we didn't get to. What is it? It's 1 p.m. 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Get on here quick next week, and we will answer your questions.
And just repost the same question. Bye. Perfect, guys. Bye, guys. Thanks for tuning into Ask a Puppy Trainer Show.
We hope you found some advice that you can use to help make puppyhood a little easier.
Don't forget to join us live every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific Time on Instagram or TikTok at The Puppy Academy.
This is where you can get a chance to ask your burning questions in real time. And if you want even more puppy guidance, visit our website at thepuppyacademy.com for info on joining our online puppy school.
If you enjoyed today's episode, please consider subscribing to our podcast and leaving us a review.
These reviews let more people find us and supports us on our mission to help as many puppy parents as possible around the globe.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode.